What kind of mango is this? What kind of mango is this? What kind of mango is this? A mango. A mango, mango. Mango, mango, mango. Mango, mango, mango. Mango, mango, mango. We got a mango. We got a mango. We got a mango. Mango in a mango. What kind of mango? What kind of mango? What kind of mango? We got a mango, mango, mango. We got a Hayden mango. We got a Pine Hair mango. We got a common mango. We got a East Indian mango. We got a Blackie mango. We got a Millie mango. We got a 11 mango. We got a mango, mango, mango. Okay, we have a lot of mangoes. To be honest, I think this one is Hayden, but I could be wrong. It could be East Indian, but like this one is, I'm pretty sure the same kind. Hayden mangoes have a little bit tougher skin on the outside, thicker skin, pretty sweet skin, and the flesh rips off of the seed really easily. Not that much hair. Good for smoothies-ish. Fine hair or Blackie mango, I think. This is a Blackie, maybe it's not a Blackie, but I think this is a fine hair Blackie mango. And it has very fine hairs on the seed. The skin is pretty thin, and the seed is more bitter than the skin. So I've been doing my mango research. I've been eating a lot of mangoes out here, and I wanted to talk about them. And I'm also going to be painting them. I did a little test paint right here of them. So just kind of like setting them up in such a way. I kind of like how they're set up right now already. They're kind of like set up. You can't see, but I have my water bottle that I'm going to be using for my paintbrush out here. And we're going to be vibing. There's a lot going on in my life, and I wanted to kind of share with you the thought process of what's going on, in hopes that not many people will watch this video, and so I don't have to, that I can kind of go on like just joking. Okay, so mangoes, amazing. This is my last full day in Jamaica, and I'm a little bit sad about that, but very thankful. I'm very thankful because I got to spend this time, and I got to spend this time with family. I got to spend this time in nature. There are so many flies. It's like they all had babies, and we're on the 3rd generation of flies out here. I'm not gonna even lie. Just wanted you guys to know. If you see them flying around, there's a lot of them. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and just start putting in our mangoes in the perfect little shapes of the mangoes. So I'm just kind of outlining the shapes of the mangoes with some water. And you can't see it, so that's why I'm like saying it out loud. It also helps me focus on what I'm doing and get that nice shape in there. Okay, once I get one, I'm just going to go on to the next one because they kind of overlap a little bit. So the water is going to overlap a little bit and the shapes. So this is like blocking out the negative space of the mangoes. And that's how we're starting today's watercolor. And now you know. Now, a lot has happened, guys, in the past few days for me, personally. First off, well, I graduated, which was really cool. Look at that. I'm, like, so one with the flies. Like, I'm Lord of the Flies up in here. I am Lord of the Flies. There's literally a fly whispering in my ear right now. You see that? Anyways. Mangoes have been good, but there's been a lot going on, and there's a lot that I know as soon as I get back. I'm very nervous because it's a lot. There's a lot. Grayson, I will come in a moment. Thank you. I love you. I love my cousin. She made me breakfast, but I'm out here painting mangoes. I got to paint these mangoes. I got to paint these mangoes, and that's what I will do, and then I will go in and we will be done. Alright, so kind of freaking out about like when I go back in States. I have a lot to do. What's up, Raymond? Mango love to you, bro. Mango love. Alright, so we have blocked out the water, and maybe you can see it, maybe you can't because it's literally just water on paper, but that's the shape of the mangoes. And now we just go in and we don't want to overwork the paper. We're going to go in with the first part, pigment. Okay, so pigment. I'm going to do the lightest color kind of pigment first. I'm going to work my way to darker color. So lighter color is like a yellow. We'll work our way to a red. So freaking out about what I have to do when I go back in the States. Mostly it's just like, okay, you're an adult now, you gotta do like adult stuff. And I'm like in between getting a real job and being like, I can handle a real job and do everything else. Or just going full in on my dreams, business, career. And I guess a part of me being a Taurus, I feel like I need to stay grounded in something that is, grounded. And so there is like this tier, like guys, I got a grant to work on my project Eco Chamber from Build Space. Shout out Build Space. I did do a video about them when I went to their San Francisco in real life nights and weekends event, and it's amazing. It was amazing. Build Space, really cool organization. They're making a school. They invited me to come to the school for their first ever cohort of people joining them for the school, and it's a 3-month program. Every week they have somebody kind of sharing a workshop or a lecture, and then of course you get to work with them in San Francisco on your idea or your business for those 3 months. And that's like, whoa. I feel so beyond blessed because, oh wow, I have this opportunity to go work with these people, to have them help me create this. Like, it's kind of a no-brainer, a little bit, right? It's like kind of a no-brainer. Esther, you got like help to work on this. And then a part of me is like, my project involves cultivating gardens. And right now I'm cultivating 4 gardens. When I go back, I have to go and cultivate the 4th garden and like weed it and help plant it and help get somebody to help maintain it. And so I am feeling a little bit overwhelmed of that. I also have a job interview for like this web analysis position, and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? So I do feel like a little bit overwhelmed at this point. I feel a little bit overwhelmed of what to do. In terms of like, again, the platform Eco Chamber that I'm creating to help cultivate community gardens, and it's an alternate currency for, regenerative farming practices. What's up? Just came to say hi. You're really chill and stuff, so yeah. Thank you, Jovian. Thanks, Jovian. I feel like I didn't kind of... Jovian, not me hyperfixating on someone's name. Let it rest in peace. Thank you, fam. So, part of me is just kind of like freaking out a little bit, like, what do I do? This is insanity. Can I really do this, or will it all come up in flames? The big thing is that I promised having a platform where people could log in. I still don't have a platform, and I'm gonna be having no connection, and I'm not sure if I'll be... What's up, Deshaun? What's up, my beautiful man, soul friend, family. But yeah, so I kind of feel like with Eco Chamber, I am a bit lost. People are like giving me money because this is an alternate currency that I'm making for cultivating community gardens, where you can use it to buy fresh local produce or regenerative resources, or just cash it for cash your coins for cash or whatever. because you know the economy is not looking that good. So it's time to get the alternate currencies out here and start diversifying your portfolio. I don't even know what that means, bro. I'm not like a big crypto, like I don't buy crypto like that. First off, because I don't have the money to spend on imaginary money. I only have money to spend on like like bills and stuff at first. So like I had some Bitcoin, I did pretty good. I had to sell it to finish paying for tuition, and I'm okay with that because honestly it served its purpose well for what I needed it. You alright? Okay. Alright. But now I'm creating an alternate currency for cultivating community gardens, and I don't know what I'm doing. And people are giving me money, and I'm just here like, okay, I'm gonna put your money somewhere where I know where it is. I'm gonna put it down that you gave me this money so I know how much you gave me and what that signifies. And then I'm gonna like figure out a way to like connect the dots so that you can do what I said you could do, even though I don't know how you're gonna do it. And I think I've made it kind of clear through pretty much letting people know, hey, I need help, I don't know what I'm doing. But at the same time, do not be alarmed, investors, and people that are betting on me, because we will find out a way. And so I think this is like what I'm trying to say is that my manifestation coming true, and I don't know how to do this, man. My cousin, she's out here with her plate.
Ears.
Fam, look at this beauty. Grayson, you are a chef. So much. I love food. No, this is not for you, cream. Dude, do you hear these dogs barking at me for food right now? They're being very rude. They're being very rude. Very rude dogs, so I'm not going to look at them in the face. Okay. I'm going to let the watercolor kind of settle a little bit. Oh my god. This smells so good. It looks so good. Don't worry, I'll eat this with you guys. Don't worry. We'll be eating. It smells so good. And you made chocolate tea, my cousin. She's wifey material, my friends. She's ready. Oh my god. Grayson, why is so good to me? You can't even drink chocolate, dogs. Chocolate tea, which is a staple in Jamaica. My mommy always makes it on Sundays. Actually, this is Milo. I love Milo, bro. Oh my god. Alright, so, continuing. Oh my god. But you see, this is like how life has been. Thank you, God, so much for all that you have done, all that you have given. I pray that I will be able to give it and give it back to you. Yes. All right. So, amen. I know. I just, chocolate tea. All right. Sorry, freaking out because I love food. I gotta eat this before the flies try to eat it, though. It looks so beautiful. It looks so beautiful, Grayson. It's so beautiful.
What?
The food.
Thank you.
I'm gonna cry. Grayson made me some good food. Oh my lord. Alright. So I gotta eat this. I gotta talk about my life, then finish painting these mangoes. You already know. Oh, my cousin, she's a beautiful soul. Mango season indeed. She made this beautiful shrimp fried rice. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Oh my gosh. There's avocado pieces in it. It's just like an adventure for your mouth. Oh my
Did you
gosh.
taste it?
Yes! Mm. Mm. This adventure. It's like creamy because the avocado, there's like a little bit of cheese in there, a little bit of egg. Oh my god. It is like perfect. Mm.
Did you take a picture of it?
No, but for the video, you guys can see what's going on here. This is what I got down there. So I'm drooling right now. That's crazy. I'm drooling. Drool touched the floor right now. That's crazy. Alright. I'm gonna eat this and I'm gonna continue to talk. I feel so thankful. God has been so good. And so I feel really thankful because like everything back in 2019 when I quit my job, my last full-time-ish job. Well, I've had a lot of jobs in between. But I guess when I decided to work for myself with like no real plan set in place, other than I knew God was gonna take care of me, I thought it was gonna come quicker. I thought my manifestation was gonna come quicker, or it's gonna come fast. And I got really impatient a year later when it wasn't there. Jim, I got you, bro. Here comes the airplane. Mmm. Mmm. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Grace Ann, you chef, you master. Oh my god. My taste buds are tingling with such joy right now. Oh my gosh. Ah, la la la. Mm. Okay. This is probably some of the best fried rice I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best fried rice I've ever had. I can't actually think of any that... Oh my god. So good. Don't mind me, like, literally not even using my hands anymore. I'm just like...
What did you say, Esther?
This is some of the best fried rice I've ever had, Grace Ann. Thank you. Y'all can't see how I'm eating it, but that's for the best. Just straight up face diving in my plate. So I don't do mukbangs as much anymore, I think. But yeah, God is good. I really was impatient though. I like lost faith with my manifestations. And they did change because what I wanted changed. What I originally wanted, I think, was very, like, kind of, not immature, but, I wanted very realistic, like, I just wanted a van and travel, and then I realized I love plants, and I can't carry that many plants in a van and also live in it, not as many plants as I would like, so I think that's when I realized, like, actually, the goal and the thing I wanted to manifest, it wasn't exactly aligned with me. And that's why it wasn't coming the way that, as fast as I wanted it to. And so, a little pivot, a little iterate, and then you focus and you're like, okay, actually I want to have some land so I can put more plants there. And then later I'll get a van when I'm established and I have a place to put that van when I'm not driving. And so little by little, by people's feedback and by my own reflection and by learning, I grew, and what I wanted to manifest also grew. So I'm very thankful for that. Now recently God has granted me much of what I've wished for, which is a beautiful family, of course, that's been supporting me since day one. But he also gave me things that I guess I always really wanted, and was like, man, this would be great if I had. And then God must have heard me, because God's like, yes. I mean, it's time. Here you go. And now I'm like, wow, thank you, God. But like, I don't know what to do now, because you gave me what I wanted, but like, it's kind of like when, for my 18th birthday, I wanted a turtle. And then we went to the pet store, and I looked at the turtles, and I realized, I don't even know what you guys eat. Like, bugs? Like, I might have to get bugs for you guys. Like, what do you eat? Now I know it's like, greens, lettuce, and stuff like that. I didn't know that. And so even though I, like, really wanted a turtle, and I was like, Mom, I, like, want a turtle, I realized as soon as I got there, I was like, I'm not prepared to take care of a turtle. I don't have a place to put the turtle. I don't know what the turtle eats. I didn't do any research. And so that's kind of what I feel like happens when we want our manifestations. We kind of are like, I want this so bad, and we don't really think about what that entails. We don't think about the aftermath. We don't think about, like, okay, what do we do after the manifestation? Okay, not everybody doesn't think about it, but majority, and myself included, I didn't think the whole way through. And so now God is giving me things that I could only at one point dream of getting. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, well, these are the things I really want, and now I have to figure out how to make them work. And I don't know how to make it work right now. And so I'm asking for help, because, hey, if God gave me this much, maybe God can give me a little help. I can help myself, but how? I need help understanding how. I guess. So that's been like a really big one. When I say this rice is so good, it is so good. So that's where I'm currently at. Currently, I am trying to understand what to do with this chapter of my life where God has given me many of the things I prayed for, so that I do not drop the plates that God has graciously given me to eat, but I can eat it bite by bite and grow stronger. So I was telling my dad this earlier. I was like, Dad, I am looking forward to seeing you again in the States, but I'm a little bit freaking out about how much I have to do when I get back. I have a job interview, then I have business calls to catch up, and then I have the gardens to look after and, weed out and plant and, go to different partners and get the plants from them, and I need to create a platform for people to log onto. Like, this is the number one thing I would love to do and finish while I'm here before I go. I think that's like blah blah blah. So yeah, it's kind of like crazy when God gives you everything you want. It really makes you evaluate what you wanted. And so I kind of understand like the whole self-sabotage, because I be real, that be me. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm when I first started freelancing as a web designer, I didn't feel like I was competent enough to be doing it. Clients would be like, can you do this, XYZ? And I'd be like, probably. But have I though? didn't tell them I've never done it before. And so that's kind of where I'm at. Like, people are giving me money into this alternate currency that I'm making, and I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know many people that have made an alternate currency, and to be honest, I'm probably not doing the best research, because I'm somebody that when I start researching, I just continue to collect information, and sometimes that's not the most effective way to do things. That's great for learning, but like to actually do things, you have to do them. You can't just watch a YouTube video on it or read a book on it. You actually just have to like do it and figure it out. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just like, you just do it, Nike. Sponsor me, just searching. You're not gonna sponsor me, that's fine. Yeah. So mangoes. This is our painting so far. So we got like the underwash done. You know, we just like put a yellow, put a little bit of green, a little bit of red, and we're gonna go over that again and kind of define the shadows and the saturation a little bit. I gotta finish this rice because it's beautiful. What I love about mango season is that there's so many mangoes. It's beautiful. But then when it's done, it's done. So unless you freeze and preserve your mangoes accordingly, you'll have no more mangoes for the rest of the season. I think that's how God is with dishing out the blessings as well. You know, I kind of feel like overwhelmed. And I notice for me, my cycle is usually during May, when the flowers start to bloom, is when I see a lot of just like, oh, that's a hot one. It's good. I just see a lot of blessings come in at once, and then it's kind of like stagnant. It's kind of like, all right, you have like the ceremony season where everybody's going at the blooming season. I love it, Deshaun, yes. So the blooming season, like everything's coming up, and you're just like collecting as much as you can because that's what God's given you at that time. But then for me, it's always that kind of fear of like, dude, I don't want to drop the ball. But I'm transforming that into like, okay, I can't hold on to everything. And I'm not supposed to hold on to everything. Some things I'm supposed to give to other people. Because I only have like no balls. And I have like 5. And I need to be like, here you go. Or like in this case with the mangoes, I have a tree of 50 mangoes. And they're all gonna ripen at the same time, and I can only eat 10 a day, then I need to give away some of the mangoes. You can't, that's just how it is, or preserve them. So that's kind of how I feel like God is with the seasons and cycles of our manifestations. When they start coming hard. And if you're not prepared, then you might drop the ball, and I think that's why sometimes it takes time for us to receive our manifestations so that we're prepared. Will we ever be fully, truly prepared? I don't know. As prepared as we need to be in that moment, and that is enough. But yeah, I do feel like I'm at the point where it's like I've had dreams of juggling plates because I just know there's a lot on my plate, and I have multiple plates that I'm handling. And I'm realizing that, there are starving people in Africa, that need that food, so I need to give them that plate. That's it. That is it. So with the manifestations, it's kind of like, prepare for it, because it is going to come, especially deep in your heart. If you know something is for you, it's going to happen. 100%. Like, for me, working on Eco Chamber, I've been working on it for about 9 months now, actually. And that's crazy. That's crazy how time goes. And when I first started, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of taking in everybody's feedback. And I just knew in my heart that, like, this is going to be something that I'm going to work on for a couple of years. And it's going to be something that is going to help me and others immensely. And I'm not sure exactly what it is. I'm not sure exactly what it looks like. I'm not sure exactly how it works. But I know that I'm here to work on it. And I'm here to bring that vision into light. for myself and for others. And so now that it's starting to be brought into light, I'm like, oh my gosh, can I do this? You know, kind of the doubts. Now it's not, it's the opposite. I think I had an easier time when I was, you know, applying to things and failing, and people weren't getting it, versus now people are getting it and they're supporting me, and I'm like, what do I do now? How do I proceed forward? You know, how do I make sure that I maintain that momentum and that it is actually helping others and doing what, you know, is the vision. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I know that you have to be patient and you have to allow yourself to trust and ask for help, because I'm at a point where I need help, and I need to be aware of where I need help. Oh my God. Help is important, and I'm learning. But so what I will say is that I am trying to be more present with each moment, knowing that my manifestations, if they're meant for me, will always come. I don't need to force it. I don't need to like look up some kind of hack. That if it is meant for me in my heart, I know it will come. And now for me, that a big part of it is here, a big plate, if you must, that I know that I need to handle with care. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it. And my dad gave me some really good advice, right? I talked to him earlier today. I was kind of telling him, you know, Dad, I got a lot going on, and I'm not sure like how to do it all. And you know, my dad, good man, wise man, said, you know, Esther, how is a building made? And I was like, brick by brick, and he's like, exactly. And he used our house as an example, because him and my mom built the house brick by brick. Okay, well, they prepared it brick by brick, and they said we did it one project at a time. If you looked at the whole thing, you'd get overwhelmed. But you know, they fixed the roof, they fixed the walls, they fixed the installation, they fixed the wiring, they fixed the flooring. You know, every part of it. They used their hands and they built it. And yes, a good thing about a big plate is you always come back to it later. We love leftovers out here. Oh my God. I'm taking my time with this because this is like my breakfast lunch. And it really hit me that it is just one brick at a time. And I think I was talking with other people, and they were kind of getting discouraged, like, you know, they didn't see as much progress on their manifestation or projects. And, you know, it can be discouraging when you're working and you believe in something and, you know, you want something and it's not coming. Because I've been there. I know what that feels like. But there's like this deep feeling within you that I always felt, which was like, this is the come up story. This is the part where you gotta enjoy where you're at, because it's not always gonna be like this. I knew that the manifestations I want are kind of, they're pretty big, you know, and they will involve a lot of energy, and they will, you know, probably make me feel many emotions. And so when I was getting impatient with, oh man, this manifestation's not coming fast enough, or, you know, I did so much and it's still not here, what's going on? It's like the mango, man. It has to take time to ripen, but once it does, they ripe fast. And you gotta be fast. And you gotta know where you're gonna put those mangoes when they're ripe. Because if they start ripening at the rate like my auntie's tree is ripening, where there are mangoes touching the floor because the branches are laden with mangoes, then you need to know where you're going to put them. That's all I'm saying. Oh my gosh. So that's kind of where I'm at. I am trying to understand and practice more deeply that brick by brick mentality. That my manifestations are not here to just come in as a wave where I'm just some kind of super saiyan, unless of course that's what I'm manifesting, right? But I am just a human, and I only have so much strength, I only have so much time, I only have so much capacity to do so much. And so I can only go brick by brick, I can only go moment by moment. And even though, again, like I said, some of my friends who I was talking to were a little bit discouraged that their projects, their manifestations weren't getting as much progress as they wanted, I know deep in my heart that, like, that is because you're supposed to be there for this moment now, that there's something that you need to be aware of in that moment, whether it's like, wow, I want this. Now, not that I have it, but I want this, but I have all of this. Or maybe that's not the best example. How can I put this into words? Just value where you are at and the brick that you are currently holding. Because that brick might be the foundation for the masterpiece that you will one day live in. But you gotta be aware of that one brick. You can't be just thinking about the whole building when you're laying down that brick. Because you might not put it down as best as you can, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, be aware. Lay that shit brick by brick. God. Oh yeah, so mangoes are amazing. I love them. They make me happy. This chocolate huge. Bricks are cool. And I like mangoes too, Deshaun. I love them. I think I'm realizing, like, it's like the whole idea of wanting something, and then when you get it, you're like, oh no, what have I done? Like, be careful what you wish for. A part of me understands that very much more than I did before. And so I just wish that I had the wisdom to know how to properly use what I'm wishing for. If that makes sense. Like, yeah, that's it. Your manifestations are coming if they're for you, so don't even sweat it. This eco chamber project that I started 9 months ago, well, I started it before then, but formally 9 months ago, I applied to many competitions and lots of just different roasting sessions. I don't know what else to say. Just asking people what they thought and getting their feedback, which is probably the best thing you can do for any manifestation you want. Because I realized you don't just get a manifestation. Like, God doesn't just drop it on your doorstep. God inspires someone to bring that manifestation to you, or in some cases, many people to help make that manifestation happen. It's not like there is no middleman when it comes to what you're manifesting. There are many middlemen, and you must acknowledge them because they are the reason that what you are wanting can reach you. I think that makes sense, right? So, for me, this looked like realizing I need to get out of my head. I love Build Space because their motto is, get the fuck off localhost. Sorry. And it really just means, like, you need to get out of your own head. You need to get out of your local server. You need to put that on public. You need to open source. You need to allow other people to see what you're creating. Because if you really want something to be impactful to the rest of the world, then they need to see it, and they need to experience it, and they need to give you feedback so that you can take that feedback and you can make it better. And this is, I think, for any manifestation. Like, you can't just get $1 million. Somebody's gonna give you $1 million. Somebody somewhere has to have the money for you to receive it. And yes, God could definitely, like, miraculously do something, but he's going to use his people and his creations to communicate to you in this world. The flies are tickling my toes, taking that as a sign. So I think that's the biggest lesson I've learned, is that, I don't have to feel ashamed for asking for help. Know when to ask for help, who to ask help from, and what you are needing help with. Of course, why you need the help in the first place. Like, asking people to help you achieve your manifestations is one of the best things. And I think there is a fine line. Like, in the early days, I was telling too many people about Eco Chamber, and it was getting confusing because I was telling everybody. And when you tell everybody, before you set your foundation's going to shift because you're taking in their feedback, and then you're getting confused because they're saying this thing, somebody's saying that thing, somebody's saying that thing, somebody's like, why are you doing this? Do this instead. Do this instead. Do this instead. Actually, just scrap the whole idea. And so if you're not really solid on your foundation and you don't set that foundation for yourself, then you're not gonna get it. What's up, Stefan? Yeah, I know my voice is like a little bit lower today. I think it's because of the rain, and the rain sounds nice. So, not trying to speak too loud, but yeah, I'm not gonna yell at you. It's mango season. Mango. Not mango. Mango. Sorry. I make myself laugh. Stefan. But yeah, so ask people for help because it is good, but know when to ask for help because you don't want to end up having to ask for more help because you asked for help at the wrong time, if that makes sense. Steven. Alright, cool. Thank you, Steven. I feel very thankful though because God is good. God's gonna bring you what you want if it is meant for you. And deep in your heart, you know what is meant for you and what is not. And so I'm very thankful for that. A lot has happened, and I know that the way energy goes, right, there has to be a give for there to be a take. And so when those bad things happen in your life, know that that is the give so that you have something more to take. I love the sound of the rain. Listen to that. So I heard some being today say, surrender. And there was more to that, but that's what I remember. And I think for me, I'm again the chapter of my life, it feels like, whoa, God, you are giving me something to work on that I really wished for, and now I get to, really use what you've given me to the best of my ability. And I think a part of me is like, I don't want to lose all that you've given me. Right? And that in itself, like, I need to let go of that mindset. Because, like, I was blessed enough to receive it, but that does not mean it's mine. Like, I came into this world with nothing, and I will leave with nothing. Everything I receive is a big blessing, and I'm thankful for it, but I need to be aware that it's not really mine. And so this fear of losing it, I need to lose that. Because, like, I can't control when things come, when things go. I can't control when my loved ones will come and go. I wish I could, but I can't. And that's okay. So I think there is, like, this initial fear when you get your manifestations where it's like, oh my gosh. It's like, and you feel this, like, joy. You're like, it actually is here. It's actually here. And then there's like, that's it? And then there's like, oh man, I don't want to lose this. Like, and so I think allowing myself to kind of let go of that. I don't want to lose this, you know? Allows me to be more present with where I'm at. Allows me to kind of clear the fear that might cause me to act irrationally and become some kind of self-fulfilling prophecy. But most importantly, it allows me to be okay and have a peace of mind with whatever happens. The door just closed. Stop! That's crazy. That's from the wind. I used to like a little thundery here too. You know, I'm like a little jumpy. You know how it is. I think the rain is signifying that you need to surrender in order to allow yourself to bloom. I think you might be right, Deshawn. Part of me is still very afraid, knowing what I have to do in the next few days. The amount of work and just like things that I've never done before that I get to do next week. I'm excited. I'm also nervous. And I guess it is true that humans do like that kind of predictable knowing. We like to know. You know, I think that's why we ate the tree of knowledge. We like to know. But it is kind of, you know, ignorance is bliss sometimes, you know, and there's a good way to balance the two. And the weather is definitely speaking to us. And if we're quiet enough, you might hear, I think it's a gecko. And they're quiet. And God is good all the time, and all the time God is good, period. I am learning that I need to surrender. The more that God gives me, I think it's like, you know, the higher that you build that tower, the more afraid you are to fall. So ultimately, you gotta lean on God so He can give you those wings. And I think that's like the biggest thing I'm learning, and allowing myself to test for myself is letting go and surrendering. Because believe it or not, so I've competed in a couple of like business plan competitions, and I don't find myself to be a competitive person, though other people have said I am. So that is shedding new light on my character, I guess. I'm learning about myself. I find competing to be very anxiety, stress inducing. But back to the point. When I really wanted to win were the times I would lose and feel the worst. Didn't matter what I was doing. Didn't matter if I was like physically competing or, competing in a professional setting. The more I wanted to win or was depending on myself to win, the more pressure I was putting on myself to win, the worse the experience was for me. And most of all, I didn't win. Not most. As soon as I let go, and the weirdest thing happens when I, in my head, think about what would happen if I lose. If I lose, a race. If I lose a competition. If right now, if I lose this manifestation. Or if things just go terribly wrong for anything in my life. When I really take a moment to acknowledge the biggest fear I have with whatever I'm doing. Oh man, this could go really bad. I could lose it all. And I take a moment to be aware of my biggest fear of what could go wrong. And I accept that. That is a possibility. When I accept it, it's incredible how God is like, good for you, dude. You did it. You got over your fear, and here's your reward. And I kid you not, every time I'm like, it's okay if I don't get anything, I get some. As soon as I'm like, I need that, God's like, you do not. You do not need that. You don't need that. And so, hyper competitive, absolutely not. I do not like competing at all. It gives me too much anxiety. And so I give myself pep talks sometimes. I'm like, somebody gotta lose. It's okay if that has to be you, Esther. But yeah, honestly, it's kind of incredible. And so I realized that kind of the same thing with my manifestations. I think the more that we kind of are like, I need this. God's like, no, you don't. I gave you everything you need. You're like, you need to learn to live with what you have. And when you're happy with what you have, God's like, great, I'm going to give you more. Because you're cultivating my energy in a way that is bringing me joy or pleasing me. And I'm thankful for my creation that is praising me in the way that they're handling the energy that I gave them. So I'm going to give them more energy so that they can amplify what they are doing. I guess that's kind of how I see it. But it's really crazy, guys, when I say every single time I've accepted my defeat before I even go into battle, chances are I'll win. And there's something deep in my heart that I feel. When I feel that fear, when I feel that angst. And if I say to myself, it's okay if I lose, and my inner voice is like, panicking, it has fear, it's feeling tight, it's like, what do you mean? I don't want to lose. Chances are I'm going to lose. But if I can go more deep into my heart, maybe we'll do a little meditation. I'm going to finish my food. And I can say, it is okay if I lose. And deep in my heart, I feel at ease and I feel at peace. And I'm like, you know what? God is orchestrating everything. What will happen, and it's meant to be. And it's okay if I lose because that means God has, better plans for me. And I'm not supposed to win this one. And that's okay. And then deep in my heart, I accept that, even though it is kind of painful. I don't think anybody really wants to lose, though somebody has to. That's what I tell myself. When you accept that and you're really at a point where, and for me it's like training myself, because sometimes I'll be like, yeah, it doesn't really matter, and then deep in my heart I'll still feel that inch of but it does. And so just feeling that difference, and then eventually just keep going deep within myself until I get to this point, this core where I just fully surrender and I'm like, you're right, it really doesn't matter. Like, whatever happens is going to happen and it's supposed to be that way. And I can give thanks and be happy for being where I'm at because I get to be there, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of what happens. I just feel happier because I'm no longer basing my happiness of whether I win or lose. It's now just like, I'm just very thankful to be here and to have this opportunity. And regardless of what happens, I'm prepared because my heart is ready. It has surrendered. It has given up any of the ego within me as much as I can, you know, because I'm still a man, I'm still human. And yeah, you know, I feel very thankful for that. So that has been like the biggest lesson with like winning and losing and learning from it in my life so far has just been to surrender. And I think on a bigger level, I need to surrender to you know, the gifts that God has given me in this chapter of my life. And some of the fear that I feel that I may lose it all because I won't be able to properly use it. I need to allow myself to surrender. And I need to think about it. So, fam, let's take a moment because I'm sure there are things in your manifestation where maybe you're feeling like a little desperate for it, or you're just feeling like deep in your heart like this fear if you don't get it, that needs to be acknowledged. Because I don't think that if there's any fear surrounding your manifestations, you will get it. So only just direct that fear to God because God is love and God knows what to do with that. Okay, so, and we're just going to take a few moments right here, like a minute. We're just going to think about what it is deep in our heart that we may fear losing. All right, so let's think about that for a minute. How does it feel in your heart losing that? It's okay if they're not the nicest of emotions. Good. And so, going a little bit deeper, let's see what we need to accept, what we need to surrender to. What can we, how far can we surrender into this losing idea? And I think for some people, they don't even want to think about it because they're like, law of attraction, I don't want to think about that because I don't want to even attract that into my timeline. And fear is probably like one of the, again, it's one of the things that will motivate you and also drives manifestations very quickly. If you have a fear of losing your house, you will probably find a way to keep your house versus if you just like your house and you're like, meh. You know, there's something about fear that does something, and it's a very powerful energy. So just take a moment to kind of reflect on surrendering into this idea of the fear, into this idea of losing whatever you hold dear to you. And just be aware of how your heart feels. We're going to work with this space as we surrender as deeply as we can, just peeling back the layers of the heart that are full of fear for letting go of whatever it is that you don't want to let go of, and surrendering and allowing God to kind of work in the ways that only God knows. Nice. There you go. So I think maybe you feel like some of the resistance or the tightness that surrounds your chest when you think about the things that you fear of letting go. Then when you ask yourself to surrender to the possibility of letting them go fully. It's kind of like Abraham and his son Isaac, right? And God was testing Abraham and was like, sacrifice your child. And Abraham's like, you serious, God? Like, you know how hard we work to bring this child to the world? And he's the lifeline to my people. But I'm going to do it because you said so. But you also said that, you know, my nation would be great. And if you're going to kill off this boy that is carrying the nation, then I must trust you. And so he went through it up until, you know, the knife came down and the angel really was like, bro, actually sacrifice this. Like, you did good. Like, that was a test. And so I think that these are the kind of tests in life that we need to be aware of. Your faith. Your faith is creating the reality that you perceive. It is bringing life to the timeline that you're on. And the more you can be aware of what it is that you are believing in and what you are fearing in, because I feel like fear and belief are, again, very connected. Because you wouldn't be afraid of something make-believe, would you? Only if you think it's real would you be afraid of it. Probably. So, let's be aware of that. Let's be aware that your manifestations are coming, that everything comes in its season. You don't have to rush it. You don't have to be afraid that it's all going to go at once. But you can surrender and just allow yourself to flow. I'm going to allow myself to finish painting this mango because it's been a while. And y'all see me eating my food. I'm almost done. I'm going to finish this because it's a long stream, but, you know, we're just vibing out here, you know? One of the biggest blessings I feel like I was able to give myself is time. Time to do nothing. Time to sing. Time to dance. Time to talk to you. Time to be with family. Time to create something that I think is kind of cool. Time is a wonderful thing. And a part of me is trying to allow myself to surrender to how I'm spending my time, if that makes sense. Because, you know, I am somebody that can start overthinking and then plan out every single hour of the day. In the past, I've had timers go off from 5:50 to 12 p.m. 5:50 a.m. to 12 p.m. And I will time every single minute of my day. They will either be 10, 15, 20-minute intervals to 2 hours, an hour interval. And that's kind of just how I felt like I will be in control of my time. And I'm noticing, like, I need to surrender, I need to chill, I need to allow myself to kind of trust that I will get done what I need to get done and prioritize the things that need to get done for that day. The timers are fun, but again, this idea of surrender, I think, is coming through in many ways for me. I'm kind of surrendering into what the future holds and what path I go down, because God knows I don't know. I feel like I'm at a crossroads where it's like either work like a full-time job or go to an alternate school and make an alternate currency. And I kind of feel like I can do both. But I'm going to surrender because I don't know how that's possible. I don't know. So, I'm just here for the ride. Y'all are going to see me eat this plate clean. So I'm a foodie like that. And I do not leave a speck of rice on my plate. No, sir. Time is so good. Time is so good. Oh. Mm. 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 Oh. Bro, one thing that brings me joy is creating videos like this. Okay, not just like this, because this is very long, kind of, and no real format. I'm just like talking and eating and chilling. Mm. 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 Alright, I'm happy now. This is a beautiful plate. It was good. I love that you're eating mangoes. I finished my plate of fried rice. It was beautiful. Now I'm gonna go back to painting mangoes. These videos have helped me so much. Back when I started, again, I was just sick one day from school, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel. I'm gonna make a YouTube channel. Esther Joy is the name, and I'm just gonna talk about being gentle with yourself. Because at that time, that's the message I needed to hear. And so I started making these videos really because they were the messages that I needed to hear. And my heart is just really full of love and appreciation that there are other people out there that also needed to hear those messages. And it makes me really thankful to be alive. And it makes me realize how divinely connected everyone is and everything is, and that I can kind of calm down a little bit of trying to figure things out. In fact, guys, I feel like I do not plan very much. I prepare, and then I just go and see what happens. Because I don't know what's going to happen until, it comes my way. And God's been really good. God's been good sending me people like you to just vibe with and understand more, because you are a reflection of me. And I hope to encourage one another through this journey, which was a really big reason why, again, I made this channel, to encourage myself and encourage others to live a good life, to spread good vibes, and to understand, what good vibes really are. Still learning. Like, guys, Esther's been on a journey to understand herself and to help others. Thank you. My heart and my throat chakra is glowing. Thank you. I'm really praying that my solar plexus kicks in as well. I'm not gonna lie, I did struggle with it. Like, mangoes are so beautiful. I'm not picking them up now because I'm painting them. But man, geez. So last year was my sacral. It was my sacral heart year, or my heart sacral, which means I was 22. That aligns with the heart chakra because it is the seventh round of your life, and it was the second year of that 7-year cycle. Now we're on the third year of the 7-year cycle. We're on our sacral, solar plexus. My bad. The sacral was really hard, and I learned a lot. And I'm learning now that I actually had really low self-confidence. My cousin was telling me this the other day, and I was like, "Damn, girl, I didn't even think of it like that. That's crazy." But that definitely aligns with why I was acting the way I was, and some of the sabotaging tendencies that I have. So I think I'm learning little by little. This year it's working with the sacral, and I think that's why, sacral is like the powerhouse of the energy body, and there's a lot of energy there, and there's a lot of beautiful things you can do with it. And for me, a big part of that was learning, like, okay, I have to value what God has given me. I have to value what God has given me, because God's given me a lot. And, you know, if I don't value it, no one will. One thing I love about Jamaica, I don't know if I should say I love, but really interesting is that people will let you know what they want. People will let you know what they want. And if you don't defend yourself, then it's very easy to just kind of get walked on. I'll give an example. So funerals here in Jamaica are wonderful experiences, and I will be sharing kind of my experience with this one a little bit, because they're not. I guess I come from the States. They're not just like a very sad, stiff, like morbid. You're in a funeral home. You're sitting there at the casket. They say a couple words. It's like a whole week thing, you know. You have a prayer circle. You have a party kind of where you just have games and invite, you know, loved friends and families of the deceased one over, and you just connect and you just bond. And then the day of the funeral, you have food, and you have, you know, sermons and whatnot, and you have, it's just like a big celebration of that person's life. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. But of course, where's I going with this one? Where's I going? A true celebration of life, indeed. But of course, there's like you guys know I've lost my train of thought, right? Big celebration of life. It is a beautiful thing. Of course, there is a point where everybody is wanting food after the funeral, and people are paying like you've never seen before, and I'm like, whoa, chill. This is to say that you gotta like defend your food, bro. You want food, you gotta defend it. And that being said, I feel like you gotta be clear in what you want enough to be like no or yes or walk away. So it's just, there's just a lot, I guess I could say, on the topic of you gotta be very, very defined with your character when you're interacting with others. And I think the same thing kind of applies to anything, you know, especially manifestations of being aware. This is your life. You know, people are going to suggest things. And I'm somebody who definitely lives my life, like asking people, like, how should I live my life? Like, I've asked all my family members, how should I live my life? But the real beauty is learning who to trust. And so for me, I guess, is going back to the mango, and I'll just be reflecting on the beautiful colors of the mango, because you got all the colors. This is how our painting is coming out so far, and we're just going with it. You got the greens, the yellows, the reds. It's beautiful. And so, you know, you have to be grounded in your identity and who you are. If you don't know who you are, just know that you're God's creation. Like that's it, period. You are God's creation. You have a purpose. Done. Okay? Grounded and rooted. And then you have this so I learned that. I learned like, wow, God really has blessed me. He's created me, and I am so thankful to be alive, to experience this body, to experience His creation in its entirety, as much as, you know, I am entirely me. Then there's the solar plexus part, right? So that's the root. You know, this is grounded in purpose and understanding God. You are God's creation, and that is your identity. So grounding in that identity. Then there's the confidence key. And for me, I realized that, you know, you shouldn't ask everyone what to do with your life. Or maybe you should, I don't know, I don't think you should listen to everyone's advice and take action on it. But I am learning that it is good to kind of scope, to understand where people are at. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm realizing a lot of the things I did in the past were rooted in like this insecurity of indecisiveness. And when you're indecisive, it's because you're not confident in yourself, you're not confident in the decisions you're making, you're ultimately not confident that you are, I guess, here for a purpose because you're not sure what that purpose is. I think I kind of like knew, okay, my purpose is to spread love, light, joy, and peace. I wasn't sure how. I wasn't sure what that really looked like. And it's only through asking others, through observing others, through asking God, through God communicating in the many ways that God does, that I feel like I'm able to feel more confident in, you know, this understanding and this growing and just finding peace in it all. So confidence also has been a really big role with the manifestation thing, you know, with a feeling, you know, kind of destroying imposter syndrome and realizing that, okay, I can do this and I don't have to be so scared of messing up or that somebody is going to accuse me of something, and I'm realizing that nobody knows what they're doing, and that's fine. Like, for some of you that have been following my journey for a while, I'm gonna sneeze. Somebody said, bless you, and now I don't have to sneeze. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's weird. But you know that I took a break. I took a gap for a little while from school. And during that time, it was because the pandemic, and there were vaccine mandates where I was, and it was just like a lot of stress from everyone. And it was a lot for me to kind of like, I guess, know the information that I knew, you know, the dreams that I was having at the time. It was just like weird time. I'm so thankful that I do document, like, this is a video journal for me, my YouTube channel, and that I kind of document, you know, what happened during that time. I still have footage that I never shared, but I probably will eventually. And what is crazy is that whole mandate, they took it out of the school. Took it out this year. It's no longer a mandate. And I'm thankful that I waited, and I'm thankful that I was able to find a way around it. I'm even thankful that I took that break because I wouldn't have started working on the project that I'm working on and have the experiences that I've had. But, geez, man, confidence, bro, confidence. Yo, I don't even know where I was going with that one, man. I'm losing my train of thought, guys. It's about that time. It's because I'm painting the mangoes. The mangoes are coming out beautifully, by the way. They are coming out so nice. And we're almost done. We just need a couple more finishing touches. A little bit here and there. And then we're all going to be almost done with these mangoes. Yeah, man, like, this has kept me sane, 100%. I feel like I don't know what I was gonna be doing. I like the whole society thing. That okay, so this just for me proved that nobody knows what they're doing, and that's okay. I'm not gonna try to act like I know what I'm doing. I obviously don't, and I'm trying to make like an alternate currency. And there's so many things that could go wrong. Somebody could hack into it. It could just obviously not work. Other things, I'm sure, I don't know. And you know what? I'm kind of okay with that because I guess compassion is probably the reason why I've done what I've done. It's because I feel like I can forgive myself if everything goes wrong. And I think that's the biggest reason why I've been able to do what I've been able to do, is because I have compassion in where I'm at and who I am, and knowing that like I'm not perfect and I genuinely do not know what I'm doing for the most part. I have an idea, but I really don't know how, and that's okay, and it's gonna be okay. But yeah, like compassion is a big reason why I feel like I'm able to surrender a little bit more, not take things so seriously. And even though I, deep in my heart, fam, feels like it's expanding a lot and it feels so full, it also feels like kind of nervous, like it's palpitating. Of course it is. That's what's keeping me alive, Esther. Thank God. But a part of me is nervous, going forward. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna do it? And I know sometimes the best thing to do is just like surrender and just start and have compassion when you make mistakes, because you're gonna make mistakes, and keep going. And so that's what we are kind of allowing ourselves to do right now. We're just allowing ourselves to have compassion and be alright where we are, because we cannot do everything, and it's not our place to. Not our place. And that's alright. That is alright. You know it, I know it. You all know it. So I'm thankful. I think the next steps moving forward, as we come to a close for this beautiful vibe with me, and I finish my beautiful tea. Have compassion with yourself. Let me talk a little bit about the heart of the mango now, because I know I talked about the root being that you must be rooted in your identity. You must be aware that you are God's creation and that you have a purpose. You must have the confidence to allow yourself to take action, to know who to say no to and who to listen to and take action from. You've got to be aware that you must value yourself and your time, because it is yours and no one else is living your life but you. In the heart, you have to have compassion. That compassion is so powerful for allowing you to do things with this surrender that it's going to be okay. Regardless of what happens, you will be alright. And that's okay. So that's it. That's a mango. Let me just add the few finishing touches that really allow that mango to go to the next level. Gosh, guys, I'm probably just gonna keep painting these mangoes because I'm quite enjoying it. I am going mango crazy. Mango, what a mango, what a mango, what a mango, mango, and a mango, and a mango, and a mango. What kind of mango is this? What kind of mango is this? What kind of mango is this? It's a mango, mango. We got a milli mango, a mango. We got a living mango, a mango. We got a blacky mango, a mango. We got a mango, mango. It's a mango. It's a mango. It's a mango, mango, mango. It's a mango. It's a mango. It's a mango. Ah. Alright, last finishing touches, because I know Esther would keep painting this forever, and she would just keep going because she's just feeling so satisfied with this beautiful painting that she just keep going. She's really feeling satisfied with it. She's just so wonderful. Don't mind my voice change, I'm getting into it. I'm getting into it. La la la, lovely. Mangoes are lovely. You are lovely. Life is lovely. We are. I kind of feel like when everything is said and done, and I get everything I feel like I'm working so hard for, the reasons why I stay up at 3 a.m. working on my computer much time and energy when I get that thing that I am spending so much energy on. Sometimes I wonder if my life will feel pointless then. And, then I realize, hey, I'm so thankful that I have something that I am working towards. And I think that I've grown into a habit of just moving towards working towards something else. And the time has come, so thankful for that. And I look forward to what the next one is. But for now, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for where I'm at. I'm thankful for all the people in my life that have helped make it possible. Because again, every manifestation, it was not just God, but it was God's people that helped make it possible. God works through us all. And I feel like that is one of the most wonderful things, and I have to be thankful for all the people that God is working through to allow this to go. Oh, I'm using a watercolor for the mangoes, and I'm quite enjoying the process. So they do look, a little bit watered down. I'm not going too hard with the colors, but I am starting to add some bolder colors in there, and they're looking fantastic. So we're just gonna go ahead. We're going bold. We're just going in there. We're going in there. I'm really trying hard not to dip my brush in this cup. I may have, but I can't tell. You just get into it and you just start painting, and then you're like, yes, I have to finish this. Happy little strokes, happy little mangoes. You know how Bob Ross says with happy little trees? You gotta be happy with these nuts. Sorry, that came out of nowhere. I could have kept that one inside. That one came right out. No pun intended. Esther, you make yourself laugh. The biggest blessing, I think, is a beautiful mind. You can keep yourself entertained wherever you are for days. It's a wonderful thing. So, I think some questions that I've been meditating on lately are, what is one habit that you need to let go of? And what is one habit that you always do that is connected to having a good day? And I think one for me that I need to let go of is going on my phone in the morning, like such an easy one. But going on my phone in the morning, but especially at night, just going on my phone when I'm in bed. Bad habits because either if I go on it at night, I wake up craving it the next morning. And then of course, that's a no-no. And then of course, waking up, one of the best habits has actually just been going outside. Every time I have a good day, it's because I went outside that day. It doesn't matter if it's snowing, doesn't matter if it's raining, just going outside has been connected, for me personally, to having a good day. You might be different, but there's only one way to know, and that is to ask yourself the question and see what comes up. I'm very thankful that these questions kind of help narrow down, and the simplest questions can help so much with, I think, allowing us to understand ourselves and change habits that if we don't bring awareness to, we will continue to be in autopilot for the rest of our lives. And it's super simple. You don't have to be crazy. Just what is that habit? And you know what? At first I was kind of obsessing over it. I was like, what is that habit? I need to know. But then it just came to me a couple hours later after I dropped the question, and I was like, oh, okay. And I'm still thinking on it, and that's why I share it with you guys, because in my mind I think it's a very valid thing to think about. Shout out, I think, James Clear on his Atomic Habits, his newsletter, the 321 newsletter, because it's a great newsletter. Look at the mangoes, they're coming out like mangoes. I love you, mango, you are beautiful. Yes, mango. Yes, guys, I've been making love to the mangoes. I have been making consume them. Beautiful, beautiful specimens. Mangoes are beautiful. God did good. Of course God did good. Yes, yes, yes. Very good, very good. Mangoes are great. What's up, boy? What's up? So, as I come to a closing with these mangoes and we finish off, because we've reached the 90-minute mark and I feel like that's insanity. That time just goes by like that. But we surrendered, we endured, and we got to where I will just say is a decent place to be for what it is. You and me know. Now, the mango song that I taught you today, that is not the official mango song of Jamaica at all. Not at all. Please do not come at me in the comments unless you know the official mango song of Jamaica. Thank you very much. But I did make up my own because, you'd be eating mangoes, you start singing, composing music in your mind. Because you're just like, man, this is so good. And I need to sing. And you know what? I'm probably gonna go sing. Probably gonna go sing about the mangoes. I might even make a music video about them. But we'll see. Mangoes are good. But yeah, go tell your friends that you love them now. Go tell your family that you love them. Go tell everybody. Go tell a stranger on the street that you love them. And see what happens. Something good probably, eventually. Something good. Even if it doesn't happen to you and they say you're a weirdo, something good will happen. So just keep going. I just want that to be a little bit darker. Darker, please. Okay, there we go. There we go. Yes. Yes. Okay, okay. Wow. I'm really enjoying this very much. Mangoes. It's a mango. It's a mango. That one looks like a papaya. I can't get it out of my head, but it's a mango, bro. I see why it looks like a papaya. I can't. Well, I can't do very much about it. Looking like a papaya, but that's a mango. And there we go. There's our mango painting for today. The mangoes. The mangoes are beautiful. And I love them. And I love you and I appreciate you, fam. You're very cool for tuning in. I appreciate you so much, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, that you got something out of this video. If you did, press that thumbs up so I know so. I do appreciate doing these kind of longer live videos. I never would imagine myself enjoying talking to you guys for like more than an hour and a half, but I did a lot. Sorry for flipping you off. I didn't mean to. It's just this finger I used to wipe my eye. Yeah, but what else can I say other than I love you guys. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Appreciate you for being here, vibing with me for this time, and I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day. I'll eat this mango for you.